But I'll now give the spotlight to Petra. So Petra is the Chief People Officer at mFiles, and they have really built, for example, a great and successful organization that's succeeding with extremely complex situations and project deliveries and so on. So here we have much more focus now on the collaboration aspect of the employee lifetime value as well. So stage is yours, Petra.
Thank you, Jose, and thank you, Sally. I hadn't seen Sally's presentation before, so that was very interesting. Thanks for sharing. Also, my chair is broken, so that's the reason I'm like really low in my chair. So sorry about that, but it just doesn't work today. Yeah, I'm fine though. I'm not that small. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so yes, so I'm from a company called mFiles. If you don't know us, I'll give you a little bit of context. So I have a few slides about mFiles. It's really more about helping you understand why we did this organizational network analysis more than trying to really advertise mFiles as such, although of course I'm happy if you're interested in mFiles, and please reach out to me or whoever else if you are. But really, to give you some context, one of the things that we know is true, and I think most of you know is true, that even though there's been these huge leaps in digital transformation, the processes for knowledge work are still often or almost always frustratingly manual. So that's where mFiles comes in. And oh, am I supposed to be moving the slides? Oh, there we go. mFiles is the leading platform for knowledge work automation. And basically what we do is we help knowledge workers find information faster, work smarter, achieve more. And we enable our customers to eliminate some of that information chaos, improve process efficiency, and automate security and compliance. And I've put in a couple of stats from a Forrester review from last year. So 50% faster searching for information and 70% more efficient workflows, which I think all of you understand is great. And so we basically help knowledge workers to work smarter. I won't read through these, but this is some of the things our customers have said, and I'll just pick a couple of highlights from both of them. So Bridges Trust says that mFiles has reduced the total document search times by 90%. And TK Elevator says we've saved the equivalent of 900 trees and $1.5 million to date, which is awesome. It's great to see someone measure progress in trees. So yeah, I had to take that one for this presentation. All right. And also I did want to share, again, from an organizational standpoint and a cultural standpoint, mFiles was the first in our industry to actually launch an AI product to our customers. So really not just talking, but taking action and creating value quickly. So our AI solution is called I-Know, and it summarizes documents, answers questions, enriches metadata. So moving forward, and this is kind of where you can see why I was sharing that context is mFiles is a pretty complicated, complex thing. We're all working around this one product or product family, and we're very interdependent. So we all play a part in this value chain. Here you can see the customer journey, and we've got some of the teams plotted out here, but that's not nearly everyone. But just to give you a picture of how important it is for us all to collaborate. And you can really imagine all the potential that can either, come out through great collaboration, or if it doesn't. So the kind of the difference between our performance, if we collaborate well or not, is huge. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to do this organizational network analysis. So what it really looked like, the process from our side was defining our goals. So Teamspective helped us with that, understanding what it is we could learn, and then we shared what we want to learn from the process. Then establishing buy-in internally in the company, so engaging the leadership team and some other key stakeholders initially. Then gathering input from the whole organization. We did this through the survey. Then adding context, which was an interesting part. This came from Teamspective. I wasn't sure how much value it would add, but it was a really great step in the process, so I would definitely do it again. But having these conversations with some stakeholders during this initial finding period to really understand kind of what are we seeing, what do we need to dig into more. And then finally, once we did have those impacts kind of fully baked, then making an impact. So taking action based on what we had found. And on the right side here, you can see this picture. There's that fiction and reality. This is from Teamspective, and this was really what got me into it. Like, this is exactly what we need. So like the organization chart doesn't really tell us how people collaborate. It's a network of collaboration. And the message, so this is what we were saying to our internal stakeholders, and kind of how we were conveying the goal, why we're doing this. So we were sharing that the organizational network analysis helps us to discover how teams actually interact. Our goal is to check connections between teams along the customer journey, as well as to discover the most in-demand team members. So that's the other thing we wanted to find out is, are there people in our organization that are kind of like too in demand, like people that everyone's needing for everything, and are we enabling them in the right ways? Do they have the decision-making power, and if not, do they have the enablement to succeed? So those were kind of the two sides to it. Yeah. And then finally, so this is my final slide. So what were the insights? What did we get out of it? And on the right side there, you can see an actual kind of snippet from our results. Obviously, they went much deeper than this, but this is on a high level. So things we found were that our organization operates in a relatively flat way. So not like Columbia Road, we do have managers, and we kind of invest in that structure. It's part of our way of working. So we really wanted to understand that it's helping us and not hurting us. So are we able to really operate in a way where it's working? So it did seem like we're operating in a relatively flat way. An example of that was that our CEO connections range across all the functions and across all the levels of the organization. There were also a good level of connections across these teams and functions across the customer journey. And we did identify actually a surprisingly large number of in-demand individuals. I thought I would know all of them, but there were people I didn't actually realize were so in demand, and definitely did not have the decision-making power that we could think that they are in a pretty stressful situation. So we did come together as a leadership team and really talk about it and think about how we can make sure we're enabling them. Also, just really specific things. We noticed that there is a need for additional legal support, so we've hired a new lawyer. And then we did notice that there could be more ways that our sales and product management collaborate and exchange information. So we've started looking into that and actually doing some actions on that as well. So that was really it from the M-Files perspective.
Thank you, Petra. That's fantastic, and really, I guess, like, a large variety of insights that you mentioned there. So it's not just like, let's look at this and then find out about that, but it was like starting from the CEO and the teams and all the way to many individuals.